Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Today I am going to do something that may seem somewhat sacrilege, ladies and gentlemen, but in the end it will all have been worth it. I will be making a ribeye dinner in a jar, and as you can see here, this is some beautiful ribeye that I picked up at Costco. I will be placing all of the ingredients in this jar, and yes, the jar will be going into the pressure canner. So let's get started. This will be a very simple recipe, and really you can put whatever you want in this. I'm going to start off by placing a thin layer of potatoes, followed by celery, some of these ugly carrots that I dug out of the freezer, and a bit of minced garlic on the bottom of the jar. And then we're going to add a few spices. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you all knew that we have to put a little bit of adobo in here. A dash or two will do. This here is some Worcestershire powder. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm going to be adding about a 1/4 teaspoon of this, along with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And something that I forgot to show you, ladies and gentlemen, on this video is that I added about a teaspoon of dehydrated onions. So let me get the rest of these jars filled, and we'll be back to get these steaks in the jars. Now, I've never attempted to place a whole ribeye in a quart jar, so it should be pretty interesting. Here we are. The jars are all filled, and let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the most expensive pressure canning that I've ever done. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, that every once in a while, you need to take a little bit of time to try something new that you and your family will enjoy. And I like to eat. You all know that. Now, don't be sensitive with the steak. You're going to shove it in the jar and pack it down as tight as you can. And don't worry about the air pockets. They will work themselves out during the canning process. Also, don't worry about the jar rims getting greasy. We'll clean those up here in a minute. Now I'm just going to get the rest of the jars prepped up for canning. Same thing that you do whenever you're going to pressure can anything else, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you that are new to pressure canning, this is not per se a pressure canning video where I show you what to do in order to pressure can. If you want to watch a video about pressure canning, take a look on the right hand corner of this video, and I'll leave a card where I show everything that you need to do when you're pressure canning, especially meats. So let's go ahead and finish these up, put them in the pressure canner, and see what happens. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously they're still processing, and that is just a sight of beauty for me. I can't wait to tear into one of these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to wait until they are done processing per se, until they're done bubbling. I see a couple that aren't bubbling. I saw 2 in the back there. Those are probably going to end up in the plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until I can handle them. And then I'm going to go ahead, break the seal on the lid, and I'm going to go ahead and put on a plate. But look at these. That is just, to me, that is a sight of beauty. Only a prepper or a person that likes to pressure can looks at this and says, man, that is a sight of beauty. And here we go. All I'm going to do is I'm going to shake it a little bit, and that should break the seal on the lid because it's not done sealing yet. For those of you that are new to pressure canning, once you take them out of the pressure canner, you don't touch them for 24 hours. But this one, as you can see, the lid came out really easy. I didn't even have to try to pop it. And let's go ahead and take a look and see how this looks when it comes out. I've never done this before, ladies and gentlemen, not with a full steak, especially a ribeye like this, but I can only imagine that it is going to be so very tender and delicious because all of those ingredients that we put in there, all the spices, even though it wasn't a lot, it's just gotten all infused within that meat. And look at this. I mean, this is like a king's beef stew, is what I would say. A king or a queen's beef stew. And those little potatoes, by the way, are potatoes that I took out of my garden this year. So I harvested those from my garden this year. And not too bad. I mean, they're really nice and tasty. I just wish we would have ended up with more. And look at this. Man, this is going to be delicious. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is not a traditional ribeye like you cook it on a grill or how I like to cook it in the air fryer, but this is just awesome. All right, let's give it a try. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to try this. I know that I've said in the past that when you're pressure canning beef, that you don't have to pressure can any expensive beef. But I have to tell you that This is delicious. And look at this little potato. Even the potatoes got infused with all that flavor we put in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to eat. So we're going to have to leave it off at that. So thank you very much for joining in. I hope you give this a try. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Give this a try. You will not regret it. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper, and I am out.